Hello, and welcome back to Your Soul Revolution. I just love being here with you guys, and the feedback I've been getting after my last episode. I got a bit emotional this week because I really do sit here in front of the camera and let things come through me and let my words be medicine for you and share my gift is sharing through my experiences. And so when you guys resonate with my words, resonate with my experiences, resonate with what I'm sharing about things I've gone through, it really just like reflecting that back to me is the best gift in the world to receive. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for, just showing up, coming back, sharing these words with your friends, with people who need to hear everything I have to share. So, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyways, the episode on relationships was a hit. As I expected, everyone is going through stuff. And like I said in the episode, relationships are one of our biggest triggers, but they're also one of our biggest gifts. And so figuring out how to show up as yourself, attract and keep the right people or choose the right people in your life, all of that is key to being more of you and living the life you came here to live. So today I want to dive a little deeper and I want to talk about the lessons we can learn from Taylor Swift. Now, I don't know if you like Taylor or not. I personally, you guys, if you don't know yet, I am allergic to labels and identifying with things. So I will never identify as a Swiftie. But I saw her in concert when she was 19, back when I was closer to that age. And I've just always loved how she shares her gifts with the world. It's very obvious if you haven't been paying attention, even if you don't like her music, that she is doing what she's meant to do in this world. And for me, as someone who's trying to share that with you guys, I can see like people shine when they show up as themselves and when they share what they're meant to share. And no one in this world can like argue with that fact about her. So whether or not you like her music, there is a lot to learn from her in terms of her navigating life, her showing up, not just in music, but in how she shares her voice, her truth with the world. So I was watching some of the new outfits that she's worn in Paris, and people were sharing videos from those concerts. And one of the videos, or one of the songs she wrote about Matt Healy, she literally took like a move that he had done in one of his concerts, or I don't know if it's in his music video as well, and put it into her choreography for the song. And it just got me thinking because if Taylor can do all of this and talk about Matt, talk about her other exes, talk about Kim K, like, and just not give a fuck, I think that we should be taking notes from that because what I was thinking when I saw that is she's over there like unapologetically talking about her life and her story, and if people are in it, they're being talked about, and I'm over here like afraid to talk about the people who have been not mean, but like who have not seen me and loved me and supported me for who I am. So I'm taking notes from her, and you should too. And it reminded me of this quote that I love that I always share with people, but I haven't shared in a while. And that is, it's from Anne Lamott, and it's, "You own everything that happened to you. Tell your stories. If people wanted you to write warmly about them, they should have behaved better." So let's all take notes from Taylor. And I think here's the thing, not everyone's going to like write lyrics or write words or even show up on your business page or your Instagram or your Facebook and like start talking shit about um, people in their lives. But I think that those words or that energy definitely somehow needs to be expressed. Because here's the thing, when we suppress our emotions, our feelings, first of all, we think we're controlling them. We're like, I'm just going to press these down. I'm not quite ready for them yet. I don't have anywhere to put them. And we think by doing that, we're controlling them. But really, our emotions are then controlling us because they're like, we don't like being down here. What are you doing? We're trying to give you messages. Please start listening. And they manifest in other ways. Either you live through the same cycles, you attract more of the same people, the same things show up because the universe is like, clearly she's not learning this lesson. And or they manifest as dis-ease in the body somehow, as happened to me. And really, we're giving them power by trying to suppress them. The other thing is when you suppress your true self, which your natural emotions are a part of who you are, um, you become depressed in the extreme situations because being able to show up authentically and express fully the truth of who we are, like that's a part of who we are and what we're here to do. And if we, again, are suppressing all of this, pushing this down, like I'll deal with it later, we're in part, again, abandoning ourselves because we're saying, my emotions don't matter, my needs don't matter, I don't matter, these other people matter. And our body will eventually say no for us. And our body will eventually speak louder to get our attention. And so, like I said, whether or not you're an artist writing songs with lyrics about your exes and people in your life, I think that it's important for you to find a safe person, a safe space, a safe community to express these things, to get them off your chest. Or if you don't feel like you have this, then start a journal, but get them out of your body, get them out of your head, get them out of you, separate them from you, and allow the body to fully express that cycle of emotion that was stuck in a freeze state whenever you were treated with disrespect or not treated with love or not seen or not held or not whatever it is, right? That emotion, because we didn't feel safe to express it at the time. Like when I have been disrespected or when I don't feel love from someone that I think should be loving me or supporting me, it brings up anger. But I obviously am in the moment, am not just going to scream at that person. Wouldn't that be nice? But that energy needs to leave our body. This is why I'm so passionate about energy clearing and breath work because like we move energy through breath, movement, and sound. So again, whatever that looks like for you, maybe it's like screaming into your pillow, like even just honestly acknowledging how we're feeling, acknowledging those emotions are there. Again, I think sharing it with someone who does see you and does support you and does hold a safe space for you is the best way to get it out, like physically and speak it out. But there's so many ways to do this, and it doesn't require something else or someone else. You can do it on your own, again, with a journal. Just even like sometimes when I was working with an energy coach a couple of years ago, she would have me just like start hit the record button on my phone and just talk to myself. Like if journaling isn't really for you, I don't always resonate with, or I'm not always in the mood to journal, but just hit record on your phone and start talking and see what comes out because that's the magic. Like a lot of times I have conversations with really close friends and like we're bouncing things off each other and I get the answer even just by speaking the problem or speaking the question or speaking my truth. I'm like, oh, I already know the answer to this. And oftentimes it doesn't require that much. Again, just for us to say like, I shouldn't be treated like this. I'm acknowledging that this is here, that I'm upset about this, and it's okay that I'm upset about this because this is how I've been treated. Like that starts to clear the energy just by doing that. We overcomplicate things all the time, and they don't have to be complicated. Just allow yourself to say, this is how I'm feeling because of this thing that happened or because of this person that treated me this way. And just like allow that to go, to start to move. And the other thing I want to talk about is, so in training with rapid resolution therapy, which on my previous podcast, I had Marissa on to talk about it, and Sarah talked about it a bit in her episode a couple weeks ago. But one of the most potent things I learned in training with RRT is that when we, again, think we're controlling our emotions, but we stuff them down and they're still there, like leaking when and where we don't want them to, we've given away our power. We've given away our authenticity. And these things, it's like having open tabs in your mind, in your body, in the background going on, right? That shit is sucking up your energy. If you're constantly exhausted, constantly tired, and like you're like, I'm getting sleep, I'm working out, I'm eating right, I'm drinking water, I don't know what's happening, like check your emotions, because these emotions take energy from us. And the thing that RRT teaches us is that takes away our power. Like when we are in anger, when we are in stress, we become dumber. We do not have full access to our genius, to our intuition, to our power, to our creativity, like all the things that make us us, all the things that are our superpowers. Like we lose access to the full source of these when emotions are taking over our body. And if you think about that, that is such a powerful thing. When I first found RRT, it was from Andrea Crowder. And I remember her talking about one of the first sessions she went to an RRT therapist. And she was having the first conversation with the therapist. And he said to her, would it be okay for you not to be angry anymore? And she's like, yeah, of course. Like, that's why I'm here. And he's like, no, I want you to tune into your body and I want you to answer the question, would it be okay for you not to be angry anymore? And she was like, she took a moment, tuned into her body, and was like, oh my God, no. That anger, like, keeps my kids safe. That anger protects me. That anger is there and needed. And the therapist is then explaining, like, when you're angry, physically, right? Your jaw gets stronger because it's preparing to bite something. But like in 2024, when we get angry, we no longer need the use of a strong jaw. We're not going to bite anything, right? So all the energy in the body goes towards that. We lose our intuition, we lose our creativity, we lose our um like power, we lose our mind, like being able to be creative genius, coming up with ways to get around this and get out of the situation. And so in talking it through with her, she realized, like, I think I need this anger, but it's actually doing me way more harm than good. It's not allowing me to actually be intuitive, creative in the moment to help my children. And it's taking all this energy from me all the time, constantly having to keep that anger around in the body because when I need it to be there. Right. And so, again, all these emotions, it just, for me recently in my relationships and dealing with other people, I heard her say this before, but I had a deeper understanding of like asking myself, would it be okay to not be angry anymore? Because I was feeling a lot of like rage for how people have treated me and for how I just like sit there. And again, basically, when I'm just letting it happen, I'm saying their needs are more important than mine. I'm abandoning myself. I'm not tuning in to what I need and saying, like, I don't matter. And just allowing then these emotions to be there, to take over the body, to cause issues in the body, to cause stress, to cause exhaustion. And it is just fucking exhausting. And I realized, because I was like, but it's not fair how they treat me. And like, that doesn't do anyone any good. For me to say it's not fair, like they get to go do what they do and I have to deal with being angry. Like, but I'm the one who's in charge of deciding to let this anger go. And so I want you to ask yourself, whatever, whether it's anger, whether it's frustration, whether it's resentment, whether it's guilt, whether it's shame, would it be okay to not feel it anymore? Knowing that the emotion is completely valid. Whatever happened to you that caused this emotion, that emotion is a natural reaction. That emotion is coming up to give information to your body, to try and get you to do something, to take action. But now that these things are in the past, there's nothing to do. We can't go back and do something different. We can't go back and say something different. And a lot of times, we can't even have the conversation with the person we want to because they won't get it. They still don't care. They still don't see us. They still aren't like vibing on our level. And so we're left with this emotion in our body, with this after effect of something that feels unfair to us. And so I invite you to let the emotion go, to acknowledge it, to say, my body's just trying to protect me. This emotion came up to protect me, to get me to take action. This thing no longer exists. This emotion is not doing me any favors. It is safe to let it go. Again, going back to Taylor Swift, she's doing this through her words. Can you imagine? Take, like, in your mind's eye, imagine someone that you've had a lot of tension with, or there's been, um, like, you've just been treated unfairly, or whatever has happened, right? Imagine that person. Imagine writing words or lyrics to that person and being able to sing them in front of literally millions of people. Like, that is so releasing and so cathartic. So, how can you allow yourself to acknowledge where you are? Allow yourself to acknowledge the emotions that are there from the shit that has been really fucking hard. Okay? There is no shame or guilt in feeling how you're feeling, in being where you are. Give yourself permission to be exactly where you are right now. Give yourself permission to acknowledge the shit you've been through, the people that have treated you like shit, and decide today that carrying these emotions, suppressing these emotions are preventing you from showing up as yourself, preventing you from living authentically, preventing you from stepping into your power, preventing you from manifesting, being in tune with your intuition, getting full access to your power, tuning into your creativity, like, and decide it is safe to let these emotions go. I am so passionate about this because I have been the underdog, or whatever you want to call it. I feel like I've just been such a people pleaser, and just like, I just take it, right? I turn the other cheek. Like, I'm a kind and compassionate person. And so when I get treated like shit, especially because I can see their trauma, I can see what's going on for them. And so I know it's not intentional, but that doesn't mean that I deserve to be treated like that. That doesn't mean that it's okay. That doesn't mean that I can't acknowledge the anger because of how I've been treated. And so, how can we acknowledge and then start to clear these emotions to take our fucking life back? And like I said in the last episode, decide and choose who you want to surround yourself with. The people who constantly make you feel unsafe, who your nervous system's just like, something's off here, who make you feel these emotions after you spend time with them. Like, we need to acknowledge that and say, like, maybe you can't cut them out completely, but how do you limit your time? Or how do you, but even that again, like, if you're having to like do breath work, meditate, get a massage before and after you hang out with someone to like get rid of all this, like, is it really worth it? Like, I think that we should be able to enjoy life and have access to our energy, our power, our intuition, feel like we're alive, feel like we're so authentically ourselves. And if there's people, situations, environments that are getting in the way of that, like, I just think it's costing too much. I just think, is it worth it anymore? And how can we take notes from Taylor Swift? How can we start expressing the things we're going through, the emotions we're dealing with, the way people treated us, again, in safe spaces, or just recording into your phone, or journal it out, or write a letter that you'll never send and rip it up, or light it on fire, or get rid of it and just let that emotion go with that letter. There's so many ways to do this. And the thing is, your body already knows. All you have to do is start acknowledging what is there, what your body is feeling, and it's going to help you move through it. It's going to give you the next right step. Your intuition will come online and you'll know what to do. You'll know who to spend your time with. You'll know who to limit or say no to. You'll know where to go and what to do, and the answers will start coming. But suppressing these emotions is blocking your intuition. Of course, you don't know what to do. Your body's like, we have all this here, like, taking all your energy. Like, how am I supposed to help you right now? Give yourself a break. Give yourself that. This is like self love, self care, soul care. How can you amp that up? What would it feel like to let go of the shit you've just been carrying around because you think you have to? Because you think it protects you or arms you, when really it's just an open tab that is draining your life force, preventing you from being the biggest, brightest, boldest version of yourself that the world needs more of. And if the answer is showing up on your Instagram, like, go for it. Share, be Taylor. Like, write songs about people, write words about people. Again, if they wanted to be spoken about warmly, they should have behaved better. We all get to experience life and share our experiences and talk about what it feels like to us. And no one else, nothing else can invalidate that. I have felt in the past that like my experience of life wasn't valid because of the people around me disagreeing and telling me I was wrong, or um, like basically without saying I was wrong, or saying they were right and there's only one way, or it's black and white, or whatever that is, right? But your life experience is valid. Your emotions are valid. But are they worth holding on to? For what? For the space they're taking up, for the energy they're taking up, for the way they're getting in the way of you being your best self. Again, this podcast, Your Soul Revolution, we show up as our authentic self. We do the hard things. We let go of the emotions that aren't serving us. We let go of the people that aren't serving us. We find ways to be truer versions of ourselves every day. And sometimes life is really fucking hard. And sometimes it feels like the weight of the world on your shoulders. And sometimes it feels like you've just been kicked in the face. But how do we say, what of this can I take responsibility for? What am I suppressing? What emotions am I not acknowledging that are getting in the way, that are getting in my own way? How am I in my own way? And I'm here to do it with you. I was sharing about again, recent experiences in a girls' brunch I had on Sunday, and I could feel the anger coming out of my body as I was speaking about it, and they could see it, and I acknowledged that, and they acknowledged that, and they held space for me, and that's when I just said, "Why am I holding on to this anger? I don't want it. It's not serving me. It's no longer useful. I see it, and I'm deciding to let it go. It's not mine. It was a normal reaction to the way I've been treated, and I'm done. I am choosing to be more of me. I am choosing to be lighter without it. I am choosing to free myself from these heavy emotions that just cause issues in my mind, body, life, business, um, all of it. It's too great a price to pay. And I'm done. And that's why I said, how can we do more of that? How can we learn from Taylor Swift? So I hope that helps. I know the relationship episode was a big one, and I just felt so called to share a little bit deeper on this. Again, based on my experiences, which is always words from my soul to yours, and the conversations I've been having in life and with my soul sisters, I just knew there was more to be said here. So, how can you release the emotions? How can you decide it's safe to let go of the emotions you've been carrying? How can you take notes from Taylor Swift, get the words out, say what you need to say, express what you need to express, and then choose to be with the people in the places that light you up, that bring out more of you, that allow you to step even more in your power, that allow you to shine brighter. That's what I'm here for. That's what we're here for. I wish that everyone could encourage more of that in others, but not everyone gets it. And that's why we're here. This community here, we get it. I want to see you shine. I want to see you as powerful as possible. I want to see you sharing your gifts and being the weird, silly, unique you that no one else can be. More. Let's do it together. I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you for tuning in. I love you, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.